red, white, and blue, the most patriotic of all the bowl games. The Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl coming up next. Southern Miss taking on Tulane. Members of all 5 branches of the Armed Forces here in celebration. The F-35s flying over, getting us all started. You're watching the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania here on ESPN. Southern Miss taking the field, as are the Tulane Green Wave. Hi, everybody. Chris Cotter alongside Mark Hertzler. Kelsey Riggs will join us in a little bit. Got strength versus strength today. Southern Miss out of Conference USA. They're great at stopping the run. What does Tulane do best out of the American? They run the ball right at you. Yeah, that Green Wave running attack has 6 rushers over 200 yards on the season. They do it running back by committee, but really Justin McMillan, their quarterback, is the guy who makes it all go. He can throw it through the air, but also is so effective on the ground. And the number 18 rush defense for Southern Miss, led by Jay Hobson, is going to have to contain this running attack. They have a safety, number 12, DQ Thomas, who is a pro potential player. He is going to have his hands full stopping this Tulane Green Wave rushing attack. Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. Willie Fritz, head coach at Tulane, on the left. Jay Hobson, the head man at Southern Miss. Miss both in their 4th years coaching these 2 teams, and they've taken them to heights that certainly their fan bases hoped they would. Willie Fritz, back-to-back bowl games for Tulane. Only the 2nd time in school history they've done that. Jay Hobson, 4 straight winning seasons in each of his 4 years at Southern Miss. Merrick Glover will kick off for Tulane. Toe meets leather, and we are underway here at the LMT Armed Forces Bowl. DeMichael Harris takes it from his own goal line, bounces it outside. 15, 20, he's got great speed. 25, 30, before finally being run out of bounds by the kicker, Merrick Glover. After a nice return, Southern Miss now will get things cranking. The 3rd member of our crew is Kelsey Riggs, down on the field.
Well, guys, it was a tough end of the season for both of these teams, but now with the Armed Forces Bowl, a chance to really revive it and restart things for next season on a high note. We talked to coaches and players from both Tulane and Southern Miss who said they had so much time to prepare for this game when they came back from Christmas, that they had a renewed sense of energy. They were rejuvenated and ready for this action. They also said they're looking forward to this. Guys, this is an old school rivalry. They're bringing that rivalry back. The battle for the bell, haven't played since 2010, and what better way to battle it out here than in the Armed Forces Bowl? Yeah, appreciate that, Kelsey. It is an old school rivalry. These 2 teams started playing when they were Deep South Independence. Quez Watkins catching the ball on 1st down, was able to pick up just the yard, though, after running after the catch to try and pick up more yardage. Yeah, Quez Watkins is a guy we're going to watch all day. The big wide receiver, he's got such elite speed to get him to the ball fast, like you just saw there. Speaking of fast, too, the Southern Miss offense, they want to go fast. Tim Jones, another one of their big play receivers, on 2nd down. They'll move the chains, now already scrimmaging from midfield. Yeah, and they're lining up quick again. Get Tulane's defense tired early in this game. Fake to Mosley. Back outside on the outside to Harris, who is lined up as a wide out. Nice 5-yard pickup on 1st down. And Jack Abraham's their quarterback. He started his career at Louisiana Tech and transferred here. He's been so good in completion percentage, getting those balls out you've seen on this 1st drive quickly and letting his big play receivers run after the catch. Tried to get it that time to Watkins again, just slightly out of his reach. It'll bring up 3rd and 5. There's Watkins, or there's Abraham rather. Here's Watkins. Yeah, and he's so good at running routes. Coaches talked about his ability to change direction, use his hips. That one went right through his hands. They'll probably go back to him a lot this game. Abraham back to throw. Blitz coming. Gets it over the middle. A lot of room to run. 30, 25, 20, and Watkins will score. That's exactly what they wanted to do. They lined up in stack formations to make sure there was no man-to-man possibility on Quez Watkins. He just ran away from everybody on the defense. Coming out of that stack, he's able to come all the way across the field. Tulane's dropped back in a zone coverage. They play a lot of man-to-man, but this time they elected to go zone. Great blocking on the outside, and the speedy Quez Watkins did the rest. 44 yards on 3rd and 17. Southern Miss on the board here first in Fort Worth. True freshman Andrew Stein on to kick for the Eagles.
Stein misses the PAT too, so maybe that 5 yards was just enough to push it beyond the upright. So Southern Miss strikes first, but misses the PAT. And here's the touchdown.
And Jack Abraham's so good in the pocket. He feels the pressure, got the ball out. It's just a quick underneath route. But since Tulane brought that linebacker pressure, there's nobody in the middle of the field. And leads it right out in front. And Quez Watkins turns and basically says, there's nobody out here. Surprised. Jogs into the end zone. He has 4.3 speed. He was running about a 5.1 40 on the way into the end zone. There's nobody around him.
What is it you always tell me? Throw the ball where the blitz is coming from?
Exactly. Replace the blitz with the football. And Jack Abraham did that on that last play. And now Tulane is getting ready to kick off and put their vaunted defense out in the field.
Southern Miss, coached by Jay Hobson out of Conference USA. They had a long-time rivalry with Tulane when they were both Deep South Independents and both members of Conference USA. That rivalry came to an end when Tulane joined the American Conference, although they're going to start playing each other in a couple of years again. Now on the return. Amari Jones out of bounds at the 20. Tulane will take over there. Team that started 5-1 on the year, Mark. Great start. Although they faded when the schedule got tougher down the stretch. They had opportunities, a lot of close games, but weren't able to win those games. Still, though, back-to-back bowl appearances for the first time since 79 and 80. So Willie Fritz has his team going in the right direction in terms of where they want to be, bowl eligible year in and year out. And as we said in the open, they can run the football.
Yeah, they absolutely can run the football. And in the open, we talked about running back by committee. They have so many guys that can run the ball, but that man right there, Justin McMillan, him coming to this school, he was transferred out of LSU, and him coming added this extra dynamic of running the football with the quarterback that's been explosive for Tulane's offense.
Out of the backfield to Amari Jones. That's probably going to be a run as a backwards pass, but Jones really only able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Tulane wants to go quickly as well. 2nd down and 9 for the Green Wave. McMillan the give to Jones. Cuts it back inside into the teeth of that defense. Picks up about 4. DQ Thomas, who will make a lot of tackles today. Number 12, there you see him in on the stop. 3rd down and 5.
Oh, he is fired up, and look how cool those helmets are. Red, white, and blue. And that Southern Miss logo. But DQ Thomas is a guy that when coaches talk about him, is that he's a pro. He's a prototypical professional safety. I mean, this guy can do it all. He's leading this 18th ranked rush defense that SMU has.
Empty backfield for the Green Wave. McMillan to throw underneath, and it's over the head of his receiver dangerously. Darnell Mooney was able to get a hand on it, but it falls incomplete. Tulane forced the punt, 3 and out.
Yeah, this is that right there. That shows me that there's been 5 weeks of playing no competitive football. That throw right there, Justin McMillan was back in his pocket. He set his back foot, and when you aren't able to step forward and plant that front foot on a throw, sometimes the ball sails high. That'll settle down. That'll calm down as the game progresses.
Ryan Wright to kick for Tulane. Quez Watkins is deep for Southern Miss. Good kick. Driving Watkins all the way back to his own 22. Makes the fair catch there. And Southern Miss will take over on their 2nd offensive possession of the day when we come back. Up 6-0. Southern Miss cheerleaders excited for their 6-0 lead over Tulane here in the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. Let's take a look at today's keys to the game, brought to you by Dollar General, Mark.
Yeah, no, really stopping the run for Southern Miss. They've done it well all year, but we talked about that a lot. And then there's going to be one-on-one matchups on the outside. Tulane plays a lot of man-to-man with one high safety. You saw Des Watkins be able to take advantage of that, run for the big touchdown. And then Tulane needs to create turnovers. Southern Miss, when they have struggled, have given the ball up a ton, and then finally get the ball to their 2 stud wide receivers on the outside.
Kevin Perkins in the game. He's going to get the pass. Boy, was he wide open, too, and Abraham just misses him. They got the pressure on him, and Tulane was glad they did because Anderson was wide open.
Yeah, you have pressure, and that pressure right there, the end man on the line of scrimmage that's blitzing defensively is supposed to pick the running back up who flares out. He did not pick him up. Good thing they got that pressure in Jack Abraham's face, because wide open down the sideline Kevin Perkins would have been with that blown coverage.
Second down and 20 after the holding penalty. Back Southern Miss up. Harris and Perkins now both in the backfield. Perkins in motion. Abraham underneath, finds Jones. Eludes one tackler. Carries another one out to about the 47-yard line. It'll bring him third and short, but certainly a lot more manageable than it was prior to that play.
Yeah, great job again. Hang in the pocket and just deliver a quick pass over the middle. Again, man-to-man coverage. You beat that man inside on a slant route, and then he's letting his wide receivers do it on the ground. And what better wide receiver than Tim Jones to break a couple tackles over the middle.
66 catches on the season coming in for Jones. He and Quez Watkins both all conference receivers for Southern Miss. Third down and 3. Abraham back to pass. Underneath has his receiver. That's going to be his receiver, Neil McLaurin, still on his feet. Man, these Southern Miss players don't want to go down very easily today.
No, they don't want to go down. And then again, there's another blown coverage by Tulane. They were in a zone that time, a zone match defense. And the linebacker just took the crosser right in front and left a wide open player in the middle of the field. They're going to have to shore up that pass defense because Southern Miss will throw the ball all around.
They give to Mosley. Slips a tackle. Again, still on his feet. Tried to power through a couple, but Tulane was there to gang tackle him after a gain of 7 on the play.
Early on in this game, I've been impressed with this Southern Miss offensive line. They had a couple holding calls, but they're able to get moving and get running, and they've got a lot of movement on Tulane's defensive front.
Michael Harris in motion out of the backfield. Second down and 7. Quickly they get it to Harris. What a move. Staying on his feet inside the 20. Down to about the 13. Willie Langham finally caught up with him. But another great pitch and catch by Southern Miss, and Harris doing what he does best, making people miss in the open field.
Well, Jay Hobson and Buster Faulkner are exposing what this defense is going to show. They're emptying out the offensive formation. They're providing man-to-man coverage from Tulane, and they're exposing that with these quick slant routes over the middle. And just time and time again, Tulane is not able to cover man-to-man against these speedy receivers.
Give to Perkins. He's dropped in the backfield this time. Nick Anderson with a heck of a play from that middle linebacker spot.
Yeah, great play by Nick Anderson. When you're playing man-to-man coverage defensively, you're able to have one man per gap on the run game, but exposes you against the pass. So you're going to see a lot of plays like that, tackles for loss against the run, but you can't get beat inside on those passes.
Loss of a yard on the play. Perkins in motion. Rush comes. Abraham gets it off. Complete to the 11-yard line. Looks like Ray Ladner is tight end.
Another good play by Nick Anderson there. Bodied up Ladner to take him down to the ground. This is a good job. You stay with that inside leverage. The ball got bobbled. Good job by Ladner to hold on to it as he came to the ground. He's going to set up a third down. They can't pick up a first down before they reach this end zone.
Harris in motion out of the backfield. Abraham to throw. Finds Harris inside the 5. Brought down hard, but he's going to pick up a first down. Boy, Chase Kirshen brought the wood, but Harris hung on to it.
Yeah, Chase Kirshen did a good job of coming downhill. But again, man-to-man on the outside, brought pressure up the middle. That slant route is going to be open. Southern Miss is taking advantage.
Perkins and Harris in the backfield. The fake to Perkins. Now Abraham is going to run it in himself, and he's going to score. Two drives, 2 touchdowns for the Eagles here early.
Yeah, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, and this last touchdown, Jack Abraham just did it himself. His wide receiver was coming across the field and knocked down by Patrick Johnson, the defensive end, and his primary receiver was on the ground, and he just took it in with his legs.
Stein on the PAT, no muddle huddle this time around. Let's see if the end result is any better. It is. Stein hits this time around. Southern Miss, they've come to play in the battle for the bell. Up 13-0. Abraham with a touchdown pass earlier. This time he decides to take it himself. I want to thank the folks at Lockheed Martin here. They had us tour the F-35 facility in the simulator. Kelsey and I got to admit, we're deft at landing the F-35. Mark, you did a great job in air-to-air combat. Landing.
I could do the barrel rolls. I did waved my wings, but came in a little bit too hot and a little bit too low. A little bit too hot and a little bit too low. That's all.
You landed on the carrier and you didn't call the ball. I think that was the problem.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Andrew Stein kicking off to Amari Jones from his own 3. Up the middle, has some room if he can get by the first wave. He does. 35 down to the 27-yard line. Boy, was he close. On first down, Darius Bradwell goes on the right side, gets a good carry, 7 yards. Kelsey, you got more on Justin McMillan.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to speak with him this week. This is a big game for him, playing in his hometown just from down the road. His family's all here, but he talked about his life and growing up with both of his parents in the Army. He said it was hard for him when he was younger, traveling all over the place, and I asked him what it means to him to play in this bowl game now. Guys, he paused so long, I thought we had lost connection, but really he got incredibly emotional. He said he saw his parents work so hard. His dad got up at 5 a.m. every morning, drove to work, came back, would work hard to provide for his family. He said he wasn't tough enough himself to go into the Army, but he always wanted to show his support as best he can. He's got a patch on the back of his helmet today representing his parents, and he said that he'll have that, he'll wear it proud, and he knows just the sacrifices that they made for him.
So after a first down, McMillan finally hooks up with Darnell Mooney, and Tulane's on the move here first time today.
Yeah, this is what the Tulane offense has looked like when they start rolling. Really good job. Couple big runs and push by the offensive line, and then you step back and you throw it to Darnell Mooney, one of your top guys on the outside.
Tulane lining up again, double tights, power run. Give it to Bradwell. Sidesteps the first tackler, but can't avoid the others. It'll be 2nd down and 10 as the clock winds down here to end the first quarter. A very fruitful first quarter for the Southern Miss Eagles.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Southern Miss scored on their first 2 drives, 13-0. Tulane, though, on the march. Can they find the end zone? Come back and find out. 13-0, Southern Miss on top here at the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. During the break, Ty and Tabor DeJane were honored on the field. Ty was paralyzed during his final deployment in Iraq, and he was given an iBot. That piece of machinery there, which enables him to stand and get around a little bit more freely, and also was fitted for a brand new truck that he could drive to his home in Colorado Springs from here too. So that was awesome.
Yeah, really 2 good gestures and really 2 cool pieces of equipment. Help him out a lot.
McMillan's going to take off and run it himself. Outside. Gets about 4 yards on 2nd down. Demario Smith brought him down. This will be a big 3rd down here for Tulane.
Yeah, I was wondering when we were going to see Justin McMillan run the ball. He's so good at that. It's the first time he really had a carry that was significant. And now we're going to get into a 3rd down situation, and you want to look. Where's number 1? Where's number 3? They're 2 wide receivers, Jalen McCluskey and Darnell Mooney. This is where they get them involved.
Bradwell in the backfield now, the big 230-pound senior from Tallahassee. 3rd down and 3 for the Green Wave. McMillan keeps it and is dropped immediately.
Jaquez Turner. Wow. I mean, the game he's had so far, he's had a holding call against him. He has come off the edge with a sack. And on this one, he just lines up and reads his keys perfectly. On the zone read option, you need to have who you have. You see someone else, Swayze Bozeman had the running back. He has the quarterback, and he did not get faked out. His eyes were good. Sends a kiss out to his fans as he comes away with the tackle for loss.
Merrick Glover just recently received a scholarship from Tulane on to kick the field goal. It's good, 31 yards. And Tulane is on the board, 13-3. Southern Miss leads here in Fort Worth. For many years as Deep South Independents and members of Conference USA, Southern Miss and Tulane battled for the bell. Began in 1979 when they've been battling for the bell. They had a 10-year run that ended back in 2010. They're playing today for the first time since then. And these two athletic directors talking a little smack before the game.
Oh, nothing like some AD smack talk to really get the fans going. Man.
Tulane right now is trying to win back the bell. Southern Miss, they've owned it recently, including that win in 2010.
That would have been one for the record books if there was an AD scuffle before the game.
Looks like Tulane has figured something out defensively. Southern Miss 2 touchdowns in their first 2 possessions. They've had to punt their last 2.
Yeah, no, you're right. Those first 2 possessions, it seemed like Southern Miss was moving the ball without even any resistance by Tulane's defense. And then you had that emotional speech on the sideline that Will Hall gave to Tulane's offense, and you know that Tulane Green Wave defense was sitting behind listening and saying, hey, if our offense is going to get fired up, we need to get fired up, and they've done just that. Really good job even on that first play, stopping it for no gain.
There's Marvin Moody right there, the junior from Bryan, Arkansas, making the stop on Travensky Mosley. To your point, no gain, 2nd down and 10. Abram back to pass. Near side to Mosley, trying to make a man miss, does. 45, close to the 1st down, brings it out to the 48, and he'll be about a yard shy.
Yeah, and that was due to a missed tackle on the outside, but you're seeing Tulane now playing a lot less man-to-man, zone defense, and they're dropping back and reading the coverage and breaking downhill. So this is just a tackle you have to make, and they ran the slants out of the same formation with a big touchdown.
Jack Abraham looking over to the sideline for the call. Pass it is. Tulane brings 5, complete, and a nice tackle. Quez Watkins caught the ball. The officials are going to rule him close to that marker. P.J. Hall came up to make the stop, and it was a good play to drive Watkins out of bounds. He's going to be shy of that 1st down.
Yeah, great play by P.J. Hall. Came down. He is a track star as well. He was a high jump, triple jump guy, really athletic, physical player. But great job to just sit back. They're, again, playing a little bit more zone over this stack. And they faked the play that scored a touchdown in the first half, pivoted back outside. P.J. Hall was not fooled. Mid stop.
Southern Miss going forward on 4th down and inches, and this is going to be close too. Abraham keeping it. Does he get enough as far as surging forward?
Oh my gosh, it was so close. Ran up to the line of scrimmage and tried to jump over the pile.
Tried to place that ball over in a dangerous fashion, but he knew he was stuck, so he had to do something in a desperation mode on 4th down.
It looks like they're spotting him just short of that 49-yard line, which would not give them the 1st down.
And they didn't get it.
Wow.
Tulane holds.
Really interesting. You saw on the last series, Southern Miss wanted to go for it on 4th down. They had a couple timeouts. The referees weren't ready, so they punted it away. This time they just elected to go for it and were stopped short. But watch, the defensive linemen are set, 4-point stance, ready to go as the ball is snapped and Jack Abraham comes up to the line of scrimmage. They get that low surge, and Jack Abraham puts that ball, ooh, he reaches it over.
Now what they do best, that's running the football, and big old Darius Bradwell gets about 2 on 1st down.
You see Swayze Bozeman. Southern Miss lost all their linebackers from last year, and Rakeem Booth was the only guy returning. He got hurt early, and Swayze Bozeman has been a guy to really step up for this Southern Miss defense.
McMillan was in trouble on that play from the start. Timing completely blown up. High snap, had to roll to his right, and just threw it away. Hoping to live another life on 3rd and 8.
What an important 3rd down this is. We saw them run the ball in this same area on 3rd down in the 1st quarter. They were thinking this could be 4-down territory. And this play call will determine what happens next, whether they decide to go for it on 4th or kick the field goal.
Cameron Carroll, another big back, flanked by Amari Jones in the backfield. The hand to Jones, has Carroll in front of him. 20, inside the 20, down to the 19. 1st down, Green Wave.
Yeah, Amari Jones, they call him the super back. It's like Tyreek Hill, and as he runs around the left, look at Corey Dublin, 64. Get that block up on the linebacker. Got a little grabby, but got away with it and freed up their super back, Amari Jones, for the first down.
Jones and Carroll back in the game, flanking McMillan. Out to Jones. Nowhere to go. He'll be dropped for a loss on the play. Kyle Hemby up to make the stop.
Yeah, and Jones, we asked the coach, what do you mean by super back? And they say they use him kind of like Kansas City uses Tyreek Hill. He can catch the ball at the backfield. He can take handoffs. You'll see him on jet sweeps, and he can run really good routes. He can also throw the ball, too. We'll see, he was a baseball player and a quarterback in high school. It's a wrinkle we might see throughout this game.
4 pass attempts on the season, completing 1 for 27 yards earlier in the year. Cameron just lowers his shoulder, gets what he can. That's about 4 yards. It'll bring up third and a short 6 yards for Tulane.
And Cameron Carroll, number 20, is one of their big backs, 230 pounds, built low to the ground.
They got a couple of really big backs. Cameron Carroll, Darius Bradwell. Bradwell over 2,000 career yards and 17 touchdowns in his career here at Tulane. 3rd down and 6. Carroll and Jones still in the game. To give to Carroll. Nowhere to go. Absolutely stuffed in the middle of that Southern Miss defense. It'll bring up 4th down and 5. And I know Tulane and Willie Fritz and Will Hall and company thinking we need touchdowns, but they also just need points.
Yeah, they do need points, and with their defense playing the way it is right now and slowing down Southern Miss's offense, getting 3 points on the board here will make it a 1-score game because of that missed extra point on that first touchdown by Southern Miss. This will put them right back in it.
Merrick Glover made a 31-yard field goal in the first quarter. Attempting another one here from 31. And it's good. Tulane cuts into that Southern Miss lead. It was 13 points. Now it's 7. 4.5 to go in this first half. Merrick Glover kicking off for Tulane. They're inching their way back into this one. Now down just 7. Here's Quez Watkins from his 2. Trying to use that great speed to get outside. And Tulane does a nice job of stringing him out. He'll be dropped before the 20-yard line. Southern Miss takes over from their own 40. Minute 22 left in this first half. No timeouts for the Eagles. So they'll have to maneuver down the field, but plenty of time to get into field goal range. Mosley on the carry. He won't pick up anything. Big surge by that Tulane defensive front led by DeAndre Williams. No gain.
Southern Miss hurrying back up to the football.
Mosley split out wide right. Empty backfield for Abraham. Clock inside a minute. And winding.
Taking a lot of time off the clock here.
A lot of time off the clock. Tulane brings pressure. Here's Watkins. Trying to dance around trouble, and does initially, but picks up maybe 5. It'll bring up 3rd down. Will Harper was there to push him out of bounds. Now only 37 seconds left to go, though, in this first half.
Yeah, the most important thing here is you want to get the first down. The clock will stop as the chains move. You can regroup a little bit. This is a big 5-yard pickup. Get 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen into the boundary. A lot of space up top.
Tulane showing pressure, and they come with it. Abraham hit as he throws, and it's just going to go out of bounds. That was Lawrence Graham.
Oh, man, Lawrence Graham just flew into that backfield. And as he comes, there's just too many guys coming off the line of scrimmage for Southern Miss to block. And the route had to go downfield. Great call defensively by Jack Curtis and Tulane's defense. And that was a shot to Jack Abraham. Tough kid, really tough kid.
Tulane defense only averaging 1.5 sacks per game during the year. They already have one today, and that pressure forcing a punt. And Jacob Robertson fair catching at his own 13-yard line. 27 seconds left to go in this first half, which Justin McMillan does.
Or you take it.
And they don't have to snap it again, as both teams now make their way to the locker room.
I think I was onto something, though.
Southern Miss came out and scored on their first 2 drives of the game, but then the Tulane defense stiffened. And our halftime score 13-6. Tulane will get an opportunity with the ball when we kick off in the second half here from Amon Carter Stadium on the campus of TCU. Kelsey Riggs is trying to find Jay Hobson, Southern Miss head coach, as he makes his way to the locker room. Kelsey, you got Coach?
Hey, guys, I got him, Coach. You score on the first 2 offensive possessions, and then it's kind of stalled since then. What adjustments do you need to make?
Well, we got to go in at halftime. They've done a good job getting pressure on us in the second quarter, so we got to go in and make a few adjustments right there. But, again, I'm pretty pleased with the way we're playing offensively. Defensively, you know, we've done well. We played good, at least in the red area. So it's a long game. We knew it would be a 60-minute football game, and you know, we just got to come out in the second half and kind of start the third quarter like we did the first quarter.
I know you're going to reevaluate DeMichael Harris and see if he's able to go. If he's not, what do you need to see from the rest of those battles?
Well, everybody's got to step it up, you know, and we've got plenty of guys that can do that. So, you know, we just got to go play. And a few missed executions here or there, but certainly we got to protect the quarterback.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you, Coach Hobson. Kels, our halftime score, Southern Miss 13, Tulane 6. After the break, back with Kevin Connors and the crew in studio with the Mercedes-Benz halftime report. Second half just moments away from kicking off here from Amon Carter Stadium in Fort Worth. Ceremony at the halftime, the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. Southern Miss up 13-6 over Tulane. Chris Cotter, Mark Hertzlich up here in the booth, and it was 13-0 in the blink of an eye. Southern Miss on top, but Tulane's defense definitely stiffened there in the latter part of that first half. Yeah,
Tulane just changed up their defensive style of play. A lot less man-to-man, some more zone coverage, and then they got pressure on the quarterback, Jack Abraham. They disrupted plays in the backfield and just made it harder for Southern Miss to move the ball down the field. Coverage was good, and the run defense. Big stops to turn over the ball on downs. No actual turnovers by Southern Miss, but those turnovers on downs are the same exact thing, and Tulane has scored points off of those turnovers.
And let's give credit where credit is due, too. Southern Miss holding Tulane out of the end zone. It took their offense, Tulane's offense, a little while to get going, but Southern Miss preventing them from getting into the end zone, holding them to just 2 field goals in that first half.
Yeah, and when one of those was caused by a drop pass in the end zone, but the other ones, they have limited that red zone success by Tulane's offense, and really good job of bend but don't break defense by Southern Miss.
There you see the halftime stats. Kelsey Riggs is standing by down on the field. Spoke with Willie Fritz, Tulane's head coach, at the half. Kels?
Yeah, I just got done talking to Coach. Pretty pleased with the adjustments they were able to make in the second quarter after Southern Miss came out and started so strong. He said it's up to his quarterback in this one. Justin McMillan needs to see him settle down a little bit more. He said he had some throws that he could have made, maybe was a little inaccurate in the first half, but he says now he feels like he's settled down, calmed down, and have a few easy passes right here to try and get things going.
Tulane won the toss at the beginning of the game and deferred, so Andrew Stein will kick off to the green wave and get the ball right back to that offense. Still trying to find their first touchdown of the game. Amari Jones from his own goal line. Up the middle, past the 20, out to the 24, and that's where Tulane will begin this second half. Good to see Amari Jones back in the game for Tulane. Was shaken up late in that first half. Appears to be fine. High snap and a bobble on the handoff to Bradwell. He was able to corral it, but then gets dumped by Delmont Landry right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, well, Delmont Landry just read that play really well. Again, you're going against this option run game. You have your responsibilities. Delmont Landry took his responsibility and just threw him to the ground.
McMillan, dangerous pass out in the flat, but he gets Jones. Just was not able to stay in bounds, but picked up a first down.
Swayze Bozeman, that linebacker we talked about in the first half, guessed and tried to make a play, went underneath a block, got exposed a little bit, and that ball circled outside. Pick up first down.
Darius Bradwell now shifting over to McMillan's side, takes the handoff, barrels his way forward. Good pickup, almost 6 yards on first down.
Darius Bradwell's a bigger back. Good job of following his blockers.
Bradwell again, now looking for a crease, can't find anything. Now he does, breaks it clear and picks up a first down.
Wow, good job right there. The vision that Darius Bradwell had on that last play, you saw that a lot last year. He was over a 1,000-yard rusher last year with the option style. And this one, good patience, good elongated blocking by the offensive line. Darius Bradwell found the hole for that first down.
Tulane just 52 yards rushing in that first half. Not what they're used to, having the 13th ranked rushing offense in the country. Coming in, McMillan going up top. That's McCluskey. He's got him inside the 10, and he stays on his feet for the score.
When we talked to offensive coordinator Will Hall this week, he said his biggest regret, his biggest failure this season was not getting Darnell Mooney and Jalen McCluskey the ball more. To open up this second half, got Jalen McCluskey the ball. He starts off in the slot, comes off the play fake, and just burns his defender towards that goal line. Great play, matched up against Kyle Hemby, the safety, and just got right in behind, stayed on his feet for the touchdown. And there's his quarterback, Justin McMillan. He's excited.
Green Wave now just an extra point away from Merrick Glover, away from tying this game.
Merrick Glover fits that one through the goalpost, fits it like a glove.
Battle for the bell, Tulane and Southern Miss. These two teams who have played every year, 1979 through 2010, on a 9-year hiatus from this rivalry, but from the looks of things, looks like both these teams are fired up to be playing against each other. They're going to begin a 4-game series too. Back in 2022, they'll start playing each other again. So I know both these schools and their fan bases are excited to get this rivalry kick-started again, and that's what we're doing today. As Quez Watkins watches it go over his head. Now Tate Watley in at quarterback for Southern Miss. He's going to give it, no, he's going to keep it, fake to Mosley. On the right edge, picks up maybe a yard. Willie Langham was there to bring him down. So that's an interesting move right here by Jay Hobson. And there you see Tate Watley, 6'2", 191-pound sophomore from Lakeland, Florida, in the game for the Eagles.
Now without two of their top players, DeMichael Harris and Jack Abraham.
Watley just getting the play off. Tulane bringing a little inside pressure. Overthrows Jordan Mitchell.
Wow, that was a dangerous throw. You can't float the ball high over the middle. 2 times you can't go over the middle. Late in the play, and you can't throw it high because you get a lot of tips and overthrows. Luckily, that one fell down harmlessly to the ground, but now it's a big 3rd down, 3rd and long passing situation.
3rd and 13 here, Mark, to your point. Backup quarterback Tate Watley.
You see everybody on the bottom of your screen, formation into the boundary.
Tim Jones in motion now to the top. Conservative play to give to the tailback Mosley. Still on his feet. Still on his feet. Great individual effort by Travinsky Mosley, but he's still going to come up shy of that first down marker.
Yeah, Travinsky Mosley, we talked about him earlier in the game. He was hurt the first game of the season. They were really excited to get him back, and they're going to need more runs like that from him if Jack Abraham, their top passer at quarterback, and DeMichael Harris, their top running back, are out.
Tulane forces another 3 and out from Southern Miss. Matt Brommel in to kick for the Eagles. High spiraling punt, forcing a fair catch from Amari Jones. Makes it at his own 21. Tulane back on the field. All knotted up at 13 here in Lockheed Armed Forces Bowl. You're You're watching the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania here on ESPN. Chris Cotter, Mark Hertzler, Kelsey Riggs. Inside Amon Carter Stadium on the campus of TCU. It's 13-13, Southern Miss, Tulane, all knotted up. Jack Abraham, starting quarterback for Southern Miss, banged up, has a shoulder injury, may have done it on this play.
Yeah, we'll see him grab his right arm at the end of that play, and as he's motioning it around, looks like that could have been the play he banged it up on.
Kelsey, you got more?
Yeah, guys, he's standing down here on the sidelines with his team. He doesn't have his helmet in his hand the whole time, but he's walking around trying to stay involved. I'm told that it is a shoulder injury, as you guys mentioned. Right now, his status and availability to return is unknown.
Nice pitch and catch. Wide open is Jones. Near midfield. Fumbles the football. It looked like Tulane may have fallen on it after the fumble. And they did. Fortunate for the Green Wave.
Fortunate for Green Wave, indeed. And Darnell Mooney, I think, tracked his ball carrier down the field, and he followed him down. I think he recovered the fumble, but good route, good play on the ball, good adjustment for the catch by Mari Jones, but you got to hold on to it. Swayze came in late and punched the ball out, but Darnell Mooney was there to recover it. That's why you always tell wide receivers to follow the ball carrier down the field.
McMillan to pass, steps up, wanted to run, still does. Pump fakes, trying to get to the edge, and does inside the 40. Picks up a first down.
Oh, the pump fake. Defender's worst nightmare as you're running after the quarterback. Your coaches tell you all the time, do not jump for a pump fake. Do not get fooled, especially when the quarterback is in front of the line of scrimmage. That's one of those ones where you pull the ball up, pretend like you're going to pass it, but you're already 5 yards downfield. Good play by Justin McMillan.
McMillan under center. Tulane showing that power run look. Cameron Carroll, big back, going to take the handoff. Spins his way just back to the line of scrimmage. Ernest Gunn took a bad angle on McMillan on that last play, making the stop here.
Yeah, Ernest Gunn, again, a corner pressure off the short side of the field, and he just comes into your screen right there. And, man, really good play, good tackle. Made up a little bit for that missed tackle on that last play, but second and long, got to get a couple yards here to have third and short.
McMillan back in the gun. Carroll in the backfield with him. Fake to Carroll. Quickly to his receiver out in the open. Hits Jatavian Tolles, rather. Who again picks up the first down. Very efficient Tulane, sprinkling in run and pass.
Yeah, as Will Hall saw the back-to-back corner pressures, and then he threw the ball right into the corner pressure. Again, it was Ernest Gunn coming off the boundary side and just told his receiver, turn around, we'll throw you the ball.
Carroll still on his feet, nowhere to go. Great pursuit by this Southern Miss defense. Time-consuming drive here for Tulane, already under 8 minutes left to go in this third quarter. I know we have the national championship coming up between Clemson and LSU. Watch that FCS national championship too. James Madison, North Dakota State. We did James Madison in the semifinal game. Those two teams, clearly the top two teams all year in FCS, and really the top two programs right now in FCS. They're going to do battle a couple of days before the LSU-Clemson game.
Yeah, and you talk about the two top teams in the FCS, not just this year, over really the past 5, 6, 7 years. Those two teams have been absolutely dominant in their level of football.
They're on a collision course. That one should be fun to watch from Frisco, as will the national championship game in New Orleans, as is the second half of this game. 13-13, big 3rd and 4 for Tulane.
Man-to-man coverage at the top of your screen, and Jalen Mooney, or Darnell Mooney, excuse me.
McMillan fakes to Hutterson, tried to throw quickly, now pressure comes, he'll be sacked. Santrell Latham, one of those young linebackers you talked about earlier in this game, Mark, coming through.
Yeah, they brought the pressure on 3rd down. Great job getting to the ball, and they were trying to go to that one-on-one coverage, but too good tight coverage at the top of your screen against Mooney. Forces Justin McMillan to pull the ball down, and by the time he does, The defense was there.
Merrick Glover on to give Tulane their first lead of the game if he can convert on this 35-yard kick. Glover puts his toe into it, and it's good. Officially from 36, and the green wave are up for the first time this afternoon. 16-13 here in Fort Worth. Tulane won the competition at the Tarrant Area Food Bank earlier this week, as both teams competed to pack 600 meal bags for homeless veterans in the area. Over 3,000 pounds of food. Good job, guys.
Yeah,
Tulane and Southern Miss.
Yeah, and some of those events like that make these bowl games really special. Bowl game I played in out in San Francisco, we did a very similar thing. Went to a homeless shelter and provided meals for different people who were without homes at that time. And it's really awesome to be able to take a break from football and give back to your community. And that's what this bowl game is all about, the Armed Forces Bowl. They can sacrifice for the better of your community.
Merrick Glover to kick off for Tulane. 16 unanswered for the Green Wave. How will Southern Miss now answer, trailing for the first time today? Watley rolls, trying to find his running back out of the backfield. He does. That's Mosley, but he'll have a hard time even getting back to the line of scrimmage. Nick Anderson in great pursuit and coverage, bringing Mosley down for a short loss.
Nick Anderson is a speedy linebacker. You saw him run sideline to sideline, made a couple plays in that second quarter. Big tackle there against a fast running back.
Now Watley. Tulane brings 5. He's going deep for Watkins. Just overshoots him. Outstanding coverage on the play by P.J. Hall, the speedy safety for Tulane.
Yeah, P.J. Hall, he's a guy he's struggled against some of these really fast wide receivers in the past. He played against Calvin Austin in track star versus Memphis. He ran by him twice, but P.J. Hall, great job of staying in the hip of the wide receiver. You see that hand on the hip. It's a legal little tug there, but got the ball out.
Third down for the Eagles. Pressure coming. Eluding the initial pressure, throws an interception. Picked off by Tulane. Inside the 10, spinning to the 5 is Larry Brooks. Now let's take another look at the pick.
Well, off the edge, you see the pressure at the bottom of the screen by Malik Lull, and he provided the pressure which forced the quarterback Watley to scramble, an errant pass, good catch. Southern Miss has been plagued by turnovers this entire season. This was the first of those they've all.
Now they're at the 7.
Steven Anderson in the game at running back. Big back.
McMillan now to throw to the end zone as the receiver jumping up to make the grab. Touchdown, Green Wave. Jacob Robertson Jr. with his first touchdown of the season.
Good spot to have that. What a great job, great catch on the outside there. Good adjustment in the air. Ball thrown a little bit behind him. Great job making that adjustment and hanging on to the pass. And how about this Green Wave team? They have just been moving the ball up and down the field. Another huge turnover. They got defensively.
Glover is good with the PAT. Tulane up 10. First it was Larry Brooks, his 4th interception of the season, setting up the Green Wave in great shape. Then Robertson, his first career touchdown catch. Green Wave up 10. Merrick Glover kicking it out of the back of the end zone. Tulane very impressive here in the third quarter. 3 possessions, 17 points. They were down 13-0 in the blink of an eye. In the first.
Yeah, and tell you Watley, you saw the interception on that last throw. Set Tulane up for the score. You got to settle him down. He's going to need to throw the ball to come back in this game. So give him some short passes.
They're keeping it and losing yardage. Southern Miss has 1 first down since the start of the second quarter, Mark.
Yeah, and 23 unanswered points by Tulane, and right now with Jack Abraham out, Tulane is loading the box. They're putting so many defenders in there, blitzing corners off the edge because they just do not have any threat of pass from Tate.
Watley back to pass. Steps up. He's going to run. He's got a lot of green room in front of him. 30, 35, 40, and he'll pick up the first down for the Eagles.
Well, there you go. There's something that he can do really well. We were told he was an athletic player, and you see him do a good job of pulling the ball down. They spread the receivers all the way out to give a lot of running lanes up front, and to me, that's a design play. You look, you throw it if you got it. If not, pull him down and run for first down.
First down of this second half for the Eagles. Watley fakes to Mosley. It's Watkins, flag down on the play. Watkins would have enough for the first down. Let's check the marker.
Yeah, in the backfield. He got drilled. It might have been a roughing the quarterback call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 25. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I like it. I like it, Tate Watley. Hang in there. That's a bad call. You shouldn't do that. I mean, it's a good call, a bad play. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't hit a quarterback late like that. But I like it from Tate Watley. You stood in the pocket. You knew you were going to take a hit. You delivered the ball to where the blitz came from. Settle down and make plays just like that. Tulane will have to respect you in the passing game.
And just like that, Southern Miss is moving the football here in Tulane territory. 1st and 10 from the 33. Watley looking at the sideline for the play. Fakes to Mosley, keeps it himself. Had nowhere to go that time. Malik Lawal was in good position to make the stop.
Yeah, we've heard a lot of Malik Lawal from today. Lots of good plays. 2nd down and long.
Watley back to throw, going to the end zone. Has Watkins, who gets turned around. Couldn't make the one-handed catch at the pylon. Will Harper on the coverage for the Green Wave.
Yeah, and this is a play that Quez Watkins can make. He's made catches and grabs like this season. They're running him on an inside fade against a safety. The ball just a little bit too far outside. But he has been so good all season at adjusting his body to the ball, especially on those deep passes to the end zone. It's not the position you want to put your backup quarterback in at 3rd and 11.
Mosley's in the backfield with him. Stays in. Pressure coming for Tulane. Watley flushed out of the pocket, tries to go downfield, and almost connected. It looked like McLaurin was going to be able to make a play on the ball, but just couldn't hang on.
Really good pass, really accurate pass by Tate Watley. Just unable to hold on to the ball at the end of the play, but sees pressure, avoids the pressure, and then is able to throw the ball accurately, running to his left, throwing with his right hand. That's the hardest throw you can make as a quarterback.
And this offense is staying on the field right here. Down 10 points. Still 3:40 left to go in the 3rd quarter. And Hobson is keeping his offense on the field. Play clock winding down. Watley's going to have to hurry. Gets it off. Tulane brings 5. Going to Watkins again towards the end zone. Same exact part of the field. And it goes incomplete. Turnover on downs. Tulane takes over.
Yeah, good play on the outside, but Willie Langham is starting at cornerback today. Thacarius Keys is out. Usually the starting cornerback, probably the best player on this defense. Thacarius Keys, he'll play in the NFL, but you know, this is good. You're a backup corner playing against the top receiver in the game. Good job of forcing the outside release, and when the ball is in the air at the very end, pushing your receiver out of bounds. So even if he does catch it, he'll land out of bounds.
Now Justin McMillan and Tulane taking over. They've been a completely different team here in the second half. Fake to Carroll. McMillan looking to go up top. Pump fakes. Has McCleskey open, and then connect. McCleskey down to the 32.
I'm watching it live, and I'm saying, number 1 is open. Number 1 is open. And Jalen McCleskey is finally found with the ball by Justin McMillan. A big throw, big catch.
And now Tulane wants to get going. Carroll has a lot of room to run on the right side. Stays on his feet, picks up 8. Swayze Bozeman there to make the stop, but Tulane keeps moving the football.
And we talked about Jalen McCleskey a lot, but you transfer from Oklahoma State, and he wanted to be closer to home for his graduate year. He's 6th all-time in terms of catches at Oklahoma State. Very productive player there. Over 2,000 yards on his career.
Father and assistant here on this staff. McMillan flanked by Carroll and Jones in the gun. 3rd down, or 2nd down and 2 rather, for the Green Wave. Carroll changes his direction. Gets 3. That's enough for a 1st down. A little pushing and shoving at the end. No flag.
Guys, this offense looks pretty locked in right now. I was actually standing on the Tulane side right after they scored that last touchdown, and they weren't just celebrating. Immediately they said, hey, we've got a lot of football left. Offensive coordinator Will Holligan getting his guys together, saying we've got to put the game away. It's not done yet. And you can see they're trying to do that right now on this drive.
Stephon Hutterson now in the backfield to fake to him. McMillan rolling. He's got room to run if he wants, but he's going to throw. He's got a receiver wide open. That's Jones for the score.
Well, the super back in the end zone, in the back of the end zone. And really good design misdirection play by Will Hall in this Tulane offense. Justin McMillan, great job of rolling out to the left. As you said, Chris, maybe could have run the ball, but you turn back and you see your wide open back. Good delivery for the touchdown. That's a locked in pace right there.
Merrick Glover, the heavy-duty Glover, with the PAT. And Tulane has blown this one wide open late in the 3rd quarter, 30-13 over Southern Miss.
Yeah, and you see the play fake, the roll out to the left. It's a left-handed quarterback. Defensively, you don't normally see a quarterback rolling out to the left, expecting him to throw the ball. It played into Tulane's advantage.
Tim Jones from his 6, reversing field. 20, stiff arms his way to the 26. Watley to throw. Tulane bringing backside pressure. He gets drilled. Fortunate just to even hang on to the football. Patrick Johnson just leveled him.
Oh my goodness, we saw Patrick Johnson was shaken up on the last drive. Well, he came back with a vengeance and a force coming off the left side of the offensive line. Absolutely unblocked. Drake Dorbeck tries to block him but whiffs. Free lane to the quarterback, and
Goodness.
I mean, at that point I think he was coming in, so I got to just make sure I don't get a penalty. I mean, I'm about to crush this quarterback.
You know that feeling, don't you?
Oh yeah, they did not call penalties when I played like they do now, though.
I ban you from the game. Watley now from his own end zone. Incomplete. Tried to get it to Perkins. Out of bounds, and he's going to be in a tough spot right now. 3rd and 34. Patrick Johnson, you mentioned it earlier. Both of his grandparents served this country in the armed forces. One of his grandfathers, even a Vietnam veteran. There he is on the right, Jerry Fitzgerald. James Johnson also serving. Thank you, gentlemen.
And when you talk to players like Patrick Johnson about the importance of this game, they really have to just, take a deep breath and settle down. And what they talk about is it puts everything in perspective when you think about the sacrifices that our parents and grandparents have made for us to be able to play this game.
4th and forever. Nice catch by Tim Jones in traffic, but well short of the 1st down. 3rd and forever, I should have said. Now 4th down. Clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. 10 seconds to go.
It looked like they were thinking about keeping the offense on the field, so let's see when the 4th quarter starts if Tate Watley is back out in the field.
23 points scored in that 3rd quarter for the Green Wave. Been dominant They carry this 17-point lead into the fourth here in Fort Worth. "100 Purple Heart recipients from all over Texas honored during that last commercial break here on the field at Amon Carter, including retired Army General Pat Brady. Medal of Honor recipient during the Vietnam War. Great ovation by the fans here in attendance. That's what this bowl game is all about, the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. Paying tribute and celebrating those who have served. Kels?
Yeah, guys, I'm standing down in the end zone as all of these heroes are walking off the field, and I just asked them, what does it mean to you to be down here? And they said just to look around and see the other men and women standing alongside of them, and then to look out on the crowd and to see them standing on their feet, to feel the love from all of these people. He says, you know, it's just not about them, it's about the men and women that are around them, and to have a moment like this to be honored is something that truly means a lot.
Yeah, and all of us here in our crew, and for all of us at ESPN, we send our best to our military here and around the world, wishing them all a happy and safe new year. Southern Miss forced the punt. High spiral kick. Fair catch made by Amari Jones at his own 37. Darius Bradwell, not very cool for Tulane fans. 2-yard loss yesterday out on the tarmac with those F-35 pilots. Really cool, Kels, to get to meet those guys.
It was. I just got to spend a little time with them down here as well, and we were so blown away yesterday when we were talking to them. It was going to be one of the pilots' first time doing a flyover. The other two had done one in Japan and one at the Army-Navy game before, but I asked them what it was like, and they immediately said, well, what did you think? They wanted to know, was it loud? Was it good? And I said, oh, yeah, it was loud. We heard you and we saw you for sure.
Yeah, I told them to go really low and go about Mach 1.2 when they flew over. But they were like, no Penn States. No Penn States. They recalled the time back. I guess it was a Penn State-Iowa game where a couple of pilots got a little bit below the deck. Yeah, Can't go below the hard deck.
I think you recalled it, and they said, sorry, Chris, too soon. We don't talk about that yet.
Clock winding down, close to 5 minutes to play in this game. Only the second time in Tulane history they've gone to back-to-back bowl games, and they're 5 minutes away from putting a W on the board here at the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl.
And if they do get a win today, which looks like they're on their way to getting it, it'll make this 2019 senior class the class with the most wins for a Tulane football team since 2000.
McMillan keeping it, leapfrogging a defender, picking up a first down.
It also will coincidentally be the first full class that Willie Fritz recruited here. I mean, it would include guys like Darnell Mooney, who was in that first class, and 22 wins over 4 years. Chris, you look at that and you don't think, wow, that's an extensive amount of wins. But you see it building. They've won more and more games each and every season that he's been there.
Clock continues to roll here in Fort Worth. Tulane with a fresh set of downs, in no hurry to run a play. Justin McMillan finishing up his career here as a member of the Green Wave. Hand off to Cameron Carroll. Tulane's going to have to replace a lot of big-time players. Fans, check out the ESPN app for the post-game trophy ceremony presented by Capital One immediately following the game.
And you talk about replacing a lot of the players. Jalen McCleskey, we talked about a lot. He's going to be gone. Darnell Mooney, a wide receiver, he's going to be gone.
McMillan as well. Darius Bradwell, Corey Dauphine at that tailback spot.
And as we talked about too, the change in offensive style from previous years to this year really leaves the team with a lot of unrecruited positions. Well, that wide receiver position has been under-recruited because they've been used primarily as blockers. So we talked to Willie Fritz. His next goal in recruiting is to get some more wide receivers that could replace Mooney and McCleskey on the outside to provide some passing windows for whoever may be quarterback next. Could be Keon Howard, a guy who played quarterback at Southern Miss from 2016 to 2017.
Eugenio Booker, the 27. You saw him on that last carry. He'll be back next year from that super back spot. Both he and Amari Jones. And Tajay Spears, who was a true freshman this year, they're excited about, injured for this game.
Yeah, but actually I think less of an injury situation and more of they didn't want to burn his red shirt.
That's right, yeah.
He played in 4 games, so this would be his 5th game But yeah, Tajay Spears is a guy that they are excited about. They compare him to a Reggie Bush style running back.
Today's Capital One player of the game, no surprise, that man right there, Justin McMillan. Slow start in this one, but really came to light in the second half. 13 of 18, 215 yards, tying a career high, 3 touchdown passes, all in the third quarter.
Guys, he grew up not far from here, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, and he said that he actually had the opportunity when he was younger to come over to TCU sometimes. Never played on this field, did get to toss the ball around a little bit. He said it was his high school coach, Joey McGuire, who's now at Baylor, brought him, some of his other teammates over here. He wanted them to be and see part of the college experience, what life would be like. He said to finish his last game here is right where I should be. It means a whole lot. Had a bunch of friends and family that were coming to watch too, as you can imagine with him being just from down the road.
And great shot right there of that leader. See him wearing that custom blue wave helmet with the camouflage and the wave, honoring the armed forces.
Riptide, sometimes referred to as the Angry Wave.
Yes.
Tulane mascot, sometimes referred to as Gumby. They probably don't appreciate that.
Well, no, I mean, kind of like you didn't appreciate being considered for nicknames, Angry Elf. You said I'm not angry, just sometimes my face looks that way.
I didn't just say I'm not angry. I said I'm not angry, nor am I an elf.
Yeah, no.
Let's make sure we say all of that.
Right, the wave commiserates with you, because might not always be angry.
Third down and 11 for Tulane. Justin McMillan just trying to work on that clock with a 17-point lead. Back to throw, nothing doing. He just decides to have a seat. Didn't want big old number 99, Jaquez Turner, to fall on him.
Let's get back to that angry wave. You know, I think it's kind of like, you know, I compared it to you, but the wave really only represents a very small portion of the ocean, right? You know, so you never know what's happening deep below the surface. Sometimes I wonder, Chris, because you have this demeanor about you, just very, very serious face sometimes, and you never know what's going on beneath the surface.
All of a sudden, I'm standing next to Rene Descartes, philosopher.
What a punt!
Oh, that was almost the best punt I've ever seen. That thing was dying on the 1-foot line. Great punt. I mean, Ryan Wright has had a great game punting for Tulane.
Where was the coverage, guys? Look at this ball. I'm just going to sit right here now.
Almost dying.
Oh, my goodness.
Great kick, though. Southern Miss with just over 2 minutes left to go in the game, trying to salvage something here in what was really an outstanding season for Jay Hobson. Let's not forget, this is a team that he's been here 4 years. They've had winning seasons in each of the last 4 years. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely correct. And to take this game, really the last 3 quarters, as any representation of what this season has been would be a mistake, because Southern Miss has progressed a lot as a team. They didn't finish exactly how they wanted to, you know, but they were playing for conference championship implications throughout the entire year. Pretty much every game that they played this year mattered. And limiting turnovers and getting more turnovers, that's going to be the next step as they move forward. Less mistakes offensively to try to support this defense that has been successful over Jay Hobson's term at Southern Miss. And offensively, they'll bring Jack Abraham back. He got hurt earlier in this game, but he'll be back for his senior year. They bring back Quez Watkins and Tim Jones, presumably. Both players have eligibility. Jones on the receiving end there. You know, players that they're excited about, like a D. Baker, for example. They will lose the Michael Harris, who's their most dynamic back, but Perkins is back. Anderson, 2 big backs. Travinsky Mosley, who was hurt much of the year, he'll be back. Yeah, and then on the outside, we didn't get to see him today, but Jalen Adams, their wide receiver, is just, you know, he's been an all-world type player this year. Heck of a catch. And a throw, too. I mean, Watley put that one right on the money, dropped it down the chimney to Quez Watkins. Yeah, and Watkins, as all season, he's been making catches just like this. And today, he's had to carry a lot of the load. And, I mean, 18.1 yard average today. He had an outstanding game. Can't do it all by yourself, but he seemingly did so far in this one. Good reps for Watley in this game. Finds Watkins again near the stick. Be a little bit shy. Quez Watkins, 6'2", 190 pounds. Third all-time leading receiver in terms of receptions and yards here at Southern Miss.
Yeah, and he's a redshirt junior. He'll come back for another year. And with that size, he's 6'2". He also, I mentioned he runs a 4.3 140. He's a guy that's going to turn some heads at the NFL Combine. Not this coming Combine, but the following one. And with his production, his ability to change flight in the air, to catch balls, to come down with them, his strength, he's going to be a guy who's going to end up on an NFL roster. And he's going to be the type of guy that says, hey, put me on the field, let me show you what I can do, and he's going to make some general manager somewhere very happy.
Yeah, and if Tim Jones comes back too, he's only a junior. You talk about two guys on the outside, it's hard to defend when you have two receivers like that can make big plays. Hand off to Mosley. Lowers his shoulder, picks up a first down, 25-yard line. Southern Miss out of timeouts. Looking to make something happen here in the final minute and 13. Watley underneath. That's Jones. 15. Out of bounds at the 13.
And we talk about the guys currently on the roster that are coming back, but the early National Signing Day came and went, and 15 commits for Southern Miss. They have a bunch of junior college players that, when we talk to Jay Hobson, it's a bunch of guys who he recruited heavily coming out of high school that ended up going somewhere else and have since gone back down to that junior college or community college level. And he says, they're the same players. I still want them. And he's got them all over the field for him starting right now. And some more are going to be added to that depth.
Great pick. Chase Kirshen goes up to get it. I thought maybe Watkins might be open in the end zone.
Interception. First down, Tulane.
Kirshen goes up to get it.
Yeah, and the new players coming in, it's going to be good to get them on campus, Hobson said. And even though there have been 2 interceptions by Tate Watley, I've been impressed with what he's been able to do to come in. He hasn't led to points or anything like that, but he's thrown some balls that when you go back and look at this film, you're going to say, okay, if we develop him as a capable backup for Jack Abraham throughout this offseason, we're going to be pretty well set at that quarterback position for years to come. 49 seconds. He'll probably just take a knee.
No way for Southern Miss to stop the clock now. McMillan. One along the right side. Stays in bounds. Clock will continue to run. Picks up 5 yards.
Seemed like he was trying to get out of bounds.
McMillan just drops down, and that should be it. Jaquez Turner. Final seconds ticking off the clock. Willie Fritz gets the ice bath. Back-to-back bowl wins for Tulane. First time in program history. For 2020, Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl champs. Justin McMillan, our MVP, and the Tulane Green Wave, using a big second half to separate themselves from Southern Miss.
Willie Fritz has a formula going. He's been to 3 total bowl games in his career. He's won all 3 of them. He knows how to let his players prepare for the game, to relax and have fun and then bond, because a lot of what this bowl prep is developing for the next year and getting these players on the same page moving forward.
Kelsey Riggs down on the field. Kels?
Coach, you start this game down 2 scores, come back, score 30 unanswered points, back-to-back bowl wins for the first time in program history. What does it mean to you?
Yeah, we're really excited about it. We want to continue to keep improving every single year. Tulane's had some great teams and great players, but we want to be a consistent winner year after year, and this is a step in the right direction. Proud of the resolve by our team, our coaches. We had a good little talk at halftime, and the guys came out and really played well.
How about you, this senior class? These are the guys that you brought in to see them get this win in your 4th year here. What does that mean?
Big for us. You know, these guys are good young men. They're all either have graduated or will graduate, and they've all been excellent ambassadors to our university.
Coach, congratulations. Thank you.
We'll wave.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Kelsey. Post-game trophy ceremony about to start here at midfield, bringing the tables on, and always a special moment for players, especially as Coach was talking about that senior class, Mark. Talk about how important it is to have a class like that, not only for Coach Fritz, his first class in terms of recruiting and bringing the type of players he needs to win, but just from a leadership standpoint to turn around the mentality and the psyche of a team that isn't used to winning.
Yes, it's about creating a culture, and when you can come in and bring players in that are brand new for you. Willie Fritz brought in his players from this class. They've developed a culture. They developed a winning culture in their 4 years here, and that's going to pay dividends even as they leave the locker room. Those players that were tutored by this senior class will instill that same leadership and winning mentality into the next generation, the next flow of Green Wave players.
Our final score, Tulane 30, Southern Miss 13. Don't forget to log on to the ESPN app for the postgame trophy ceremony presented by Capital One. Now let's send it to postseason NFL countdown. So long from Fort Worth.